Welcome back, everybody. We are Ceremony Semantics, and today we're going to be talking about detachments. I am Jerry, and I'm here with my buddy Michael.
Hey.
Alright. So, today, WarCom put out an article about Space Marine and the new detachments.
A new world.
A new world.
A new world got previewed today, folks.
Yep. What are your first takeaways from this article?
Sad.
Sad.
A little sad. I should probably like asterisk and caveat that. So I guess we could start out with the elephant that was Oath of Moment.
Yeah.
So Oath of Moment we had some rumor mills going on, but it is official that it is getting nerfed. So no wound rolls.
Yep.
And that's kind of feels bad. A lot of people, and I tend to agree with this currently, with what the information we have now, is that Oath should have just been changed to re-rolls of wounds and not hits.
Oh, okay.
But we'll kind of see how it all shakes up, because in that article they have that little asterisk, and at the bottom it says because there was like access to a lot of well, no, there weren't access to a lot of wound rerolls previously, so I'm curious if that means like going forward more stuff will just have twin linked, or like maybe more of the characters will have an ability to reroll, so that remains to be seen. But the Oath Moment, or the Oath of Moment changes, is sad for me in particular, because I feel like it wasn't really necessary with how the rule was, comparatively speaking, to some of the other rules and army abilities in the game.
Yeah,
Uh,
and just compared to like their win rates, like
yeah, for sure. If they had been like
probably
90%.
didn't really need it to be nerfed because Space Marines aren't that good right now.
Yeah, and I think my favorite quote, or comment, rather, on on this information is, it's kind of weird that an index nerf is still stronger than the first two codexes released. Looking at you, elves.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so that feels real bad.
yeah. That feels real bad. I bet.
Like, oof, especially because like two of the armies that I play are the first two codexes.
Yeah,
So, we'll see. As someone, the Oath of Moment rule also makes me sad as someone who's like has Bobby G on my table right now watching me.
yeah.
It makes me sad, but
Watching in shame.
hopefully he gets some changes to kind of address that. So let's go. So they kind of have said with the new codex, we're getting the 7 detachments,
Yeah,
and they kind of, we've had some previews of that today, and then via other leaks, via Auspex and whatnot, other YouTubers who kind of have a little bit of a foundation of what these mean and what they are.
yeah. We pretty much know what's coming.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like he said, there was a leak on Auspex. If you guys haven't heard of him, check him out. We'll put a link in the description. He's probably the best 40k YouTuber out there. But he made a video about all the detachments coming, and that was prior to this article, so we didn't know that it was confirmed or not, if the leak was credible. But it looks like it is, because the ones that are named here in the article are 3 of the ones that he talked about, and he also covers the other 4. So
yeah.
the first one in the article is the First Company Task Force. So this one brings back Oath to how it was. This one, the detachment rule is you get rerolls of wound as well as hits. So
But it's only once per battle, which is like, this one seems
that's
like
true.
kind of
That's
not
true.
good. This one
Yeah.
seems like not. It's going to be
Yeah,
taken
this is
less.
going to be, if I had to guess, probably, yeah. It's going to be the super elite detachment. You're going to take veterans and all their different flavors, as well as Terminators. I do like the look of the enhancements. They only previewed one, but they talked about how the other ones work. where 3 of them of the 4 give your character a buff, and then also once per game they can confer that buff onto their unit. I think that's pretty cool. And then also the stratagem they previewed, Legendary Fortitude, is like a brace for impact style stratagem where you use it when an opponent charges you, and then you're -1 incoming damage. So,
which is gonna be really useful.
yeah, seems all about just super elite, somewhat tough units. So, but I mean, if that's what you want to play, then you could just go play Custodians.
Yeah. This seems like not as strong by any means, but hey, man, you play what you want to play.
Yeah.
If you want to get them vets all together, them old dudes.
I mean, it could be okay, because you get Vanguard veterans are fun. You get a whole jump army, or Sternguard. Sternguard could have all combi weapons, right? So you just have devastating wounds on the whole unit.
Yeah, I think
that's not bad.
Yeah, I think Sternguard are cool, and I'm gonna play them later. But
yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty decent as far as meta units. But it'll probably be the same stuff, like freaking Gladiuses and Eliminators and the Melta Rifle dudes. What are they called?
Eradicators.
Yeah, Eradicators.
Yeah.
I think those are still going to be pretty common staples. But yeah, I would agree. I think this one is not going to be the best in the Codex.
Agreed.
But if you have a lot of Terminators and Veterans, then it could be fun.
Agreed. And we got to talk about We got to talk about Firestorm next.
Yeah, you boys.
This is crazy.
I like this one. I like this one a lot.
So the next detachment is a Firestorm Assault Force. That's on the article. And this one, it seems to would be to kind of emulate the Salamander sub-faction, because as of now, it seems like sub-factions are kind of being reworked, and we don't really have them in the same way as in previous editions, so they're just kind of opening the board, but still keeping a flavor of that particular chapter
right
in the army rule. So this one is, I mean, they have 3 salamanders with flamers in the picture, so
yeah.
I think we can safely assume that this is for our wonderful green men from the land of drakes. But their detachment rule is going to be close range eradication. Just going to give all your weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes models assault.
And then whole army gets assault.
And then when you make an attack within 12, you get 1 to the strength characteristic, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, that seems really cool. I mean,
I love it.
They definitely want you to use the Boltstorm Gauntlet dudes. What are they called?
Aggressors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aggressors also have a flame weapon option as well, but this is like eradicate, like in even in the article, like
aggressors.
The Infernus Marines are going to be really benefit from this.
Definitely Infernus Marines.
Strength 6 flamers.
Yeah, that's nasty.
A regular dude. That's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I like that. But also, I think there's maybe not unintended, but also you can combo that with different quote-unquote sub-factions as well. So if your whole army has assault, that's going to work really well with things that have advance and charge. Or if you just have a pure shooting army and you don't really, you're not worrying about shooting or close combat, then essentially your entire army just gets an extra D6 movement, because you're just going to advance every single time, because there's going to be no negative.
Yeah, no penalty, which is
unless
that's wild.
You're doing a action, or a 10th edition action, because they're not called actions. Yeah, unless you're doing something where you don't want to advance specifically, then you're going to advance every single time.
For
So
sure.
that's pretty cool. But I do like the idea of things that have advance and charge. Space Wolves, I think it's Ragnar who gives advance and charge on his unit. I think there's a couple other things just might get it by default. But then you're going to be, advancing every time and still able to shoot and then do your charge as well. So that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, zipping around. I like Ragnar.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, Ragnar's cool.
And then their enhancement is just going to be just adding 3 to the strength characteristic of the bear's melee weapons.
Yeah, that seems
Which,
crazy.
woo, that is spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, the example they use is put it on a power sword so that your power sword hits as hard as a power fist, which seems like a great idea because you're going to have generally more attacks that hit easier with a power sword than a power fist, because normally fist is like -1 weapon skill and less attacks. So you just beef up a power sword, so you're like a strength 10 or 9 or whatever.
Imagine just an angry salamander just bonking rhinos left and right. Just boop.
Yeah.
It's a little bunny foo-foo situation going on over here.
Yep. Or put it on someone with an already strong melee weapon, like a Thunderhammer, and they're going to be hitting at like strength 15 or something. Because I think Thunderhammers are strength 12 or 10, depending on who's wielding it. So,
Eesh.
So yeah, you'll just be wounding most things on a 3 or 2. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah. And then some of the other rumor mills with this one is that there was like an ability that maybe they could disembark and shoot in like re-embark some stuff. I'm not 100% sure.
For the Firestorm?
Yeah, for Firestorm, because it looks like on the some of the leaks were saying that it was like transport and inventory kind of focused, but they just didn't go into any of the transport stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that on the Auspex thing. Let's see here. Infantry and weirdly transport heavy support. Yeah, who knows what that could end up being.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
But overall, I think this is like arguably the strongest one. The Imperial Fist one is not bad. But man, this just looks like fun to play.
Yeah, it does.
Like, oof.
Yeah, that seems cool.
And then
finally, going in, we got the normal one.
Good old the Gladius.
Gladius Task Force. Yeah, this one is the same one from the index. It says it's returning the fold with the same enhancement stratagems and combat doctrines detachment ability. We'll see if anything changes at all.
I would imagine not a lot does.
Yeah, probably not, seeing as how the Tyranids one that was on the index and also translated over to the Codex was pretty much the same one, right? I don't know if anything changed.
The invasion fleet. Nothing is really standing out to me at the moment. I don't believe, if anything, or maybe like some small quality of life changes that they changed that they made. But
yeah, probably.
One thing though with the Gladius that is it looks like the other detachments. It's going to be this combat doctrine ability. So it's it's going to be focused a lot more on. I kind of like the Gladius task force in that sense of like I like to build lists that are kind of like general balanced come ye all lists.
Yeah.
And so being able to like have the flexibility of being like this turn, assess what you need and then like kind of build off that, and then building an army that kind of plays off that is generally how I like to build. But Firestorm's looking pretty good in the corner. But
Yeah, Firestorm looks fun. I'm gonna agree with that.
it looks like kind of what G-Dub is doing so far is each detachment has its like flavor, well, salamander flavor, imperial fist flavor, so on and so forth, and then they're adding the same stratagems minus like 2 to 3 specific ones. And I kind of think this is where they've been kind of preaching when this edition started, like to simplify it and streamline it. And I think that's kind of one of the things they're doing. Like that's one aspect that they're changing to kind of keep it streamlined.
Right.
So hopefully, I mean, it's still a lot of stratagems to remember, but at least like you don't have to
It's a lot
remember.
less.
Yeah, you don't. Well, and it's per detachment per game, right? So you're not
Yeah.
having to like,
So it's only
oh, what are you
6.
playing? Yeah, and instead of like 30
Yeah, it's only your 6
stratagems.
plus the core one, so it's a lot more manageable. Plus
Agreed.
your all your army rules is on one page. That's like their whole thing. It's like, yeah, we're gonna put everything on one page minus the strats. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot more manageable. But as far as the other detachments that were not spoken about in this article, they were referenced in Auspex' video. So they are the Stormlance Task Force, which is kind of intended as the White Scars detachment. So word on the street is the army rule is you can advance and charge after falling back. And it seems to apply to all units, not just bikes. So army-wide
Yeah, that was
advance and charge seems pretty crazy.
that's kind of what they had in 8th, right? Wasn't that
Yes,
their
that's
supplement?
what
Yeah.
that's what the slide is even saying on this video. It's very reminiscent of White Scar's rules in 8th and ninth.
I'm super into this. I like the White Scars a lot, and they're like one of my favorite Space Marine chapters.
I like that
Yeah.
detachment. I don't like White Scars, but I like the detachment.
Okay, well, it's okay to be wrong. And I do. That is one thing I do want to talk about real quick. Is I do like them not capping anything to where you can still play what you want to play, but you're not losing out on anything. So, for example, like I'm starting my wonderful Smurf army, and if I wanted to play it like, a quote unquote White Scar army with the Stormlance, I could still do that. I'm super into that army building aspect,
Yeah.
and I think in some regards that they've kind of I enjoy those changes in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that the bikes and the mounted stuff maybe will get an additional ability outside of the advance and charge, but we'll see.
Well, it looks like they have stratagem and enhancement support. So the two enhancements that are talked about, or two stratagems actually. One is called Wind Swift Evasion, where when an enemy ends a move within 9 inches, you get a reactive move of 6 inches. I've seen this in a couple other codexes. I think Tyranids had one.
Yeah, Tyranids have it. I mean, several units, even within the Space Marine Codex, have it as well.
Yeah, so it's a
It's still good, though.
stratagem for the White Scars attachment, they're saying. Yeah, it could be pretty good. The other one is another one command point one called Ride Fast, Ride Hard, where one mounted or fly vehicle unit in the shooting phase gets -1 to hit and to wound.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially on a key unit you want to make sure survives. Maybe on your way to a charge or something like that. Or just like a big flyer,
Mm-hmm.
We might see Storm Ravens get taken again in a detachment like this. But it is only one unit, so that's all right. And then the enhancement he talks about is called Hunter's Instincts, where it counts the units round as being one higher for strategic reserves purposes. So you could put this on a captain on a bike, put him with an outrider squad, and then they could all come from strategic reserves in turn one on the side of the table.
And then advance and
Seems well. You still wouldn't
just
be able
run
to
around.
advance,
And
but you could charge.
the con, see when you know the con, you can just do because it's like or you ride with the wind, so you just get to break that rule.
Yeah,
And then like on Chigoris, they just speed all the time.
right.
And they get down there, there's no police force on Chigoris, so they're just always speeding. I think they just do it on horses, but
Yeah, no bikes.
I think it'll be good. It's fun though. This one is good too.
Yeah, yeah, that seems fun. Advance and charge as an army rule just seems really good. I think a lot of non-White Scars armies are going to want to take advantage of that too. Like this could really work with Blood Angels. Make all your Blood Angels advance and charge. Just take a bunch of Death Company and um, the Golden Sanguinary Guard, stuff like that. That seems really fun. Just have a full jump unit,
I think it'll be interesting
full jump
as
army.
the specific Marine codexes come out, like what changes those will bring and like how those particular players, like the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Death Watch, how those guys will kind of build and how that'll change how we see those armies kind of being played.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll change drastically because I think some people are gonna try to use some unintended combos or like not thought of combos like yeah, using Blood Angels in the White Scars attachment because it makes sense. But then when they get their codex, it'll probably be they'll get their own 6 or 7 detachments, and probably one of those will have advance and charge, but more melee oriented instead of like mounted oriented stratagems, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I like that.
Um, but yeah, so the other detachment that Auspex goes into in his video is the Anvillus Siege Force, which is the like Imperial Fist style detachment. Seems pretty good. The detachment rule for that one is all ranged weapons gain heavy, and then weapons that were already heavy gain +1 to wound if stationary. So
So strong.
yeah, heavy already gives you +1 to hit if you're stationary. So if you bring a very shooty oriented stay still army, then essentially your whole army is +1 to hit. And then if you already have heavy weapons, they are +1 to wound as well. That seems pretty cool. But and he makes this comment as well in his video, you're not going to be able to just stay still the whole game. You're going to want to move to get on objectives and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So probably would be pretty usable on putting it on tanks and stuff like that are camping on home field objectives, or some eliminators, stuff like that. Some like eliminators with las fusils.
I think this one is going to
heavy.
be kind of terrain as well. Like the terrain will definitely matter. Making kind of lanes. Then
Yeah,
it'll kind of the way you use board control to your advantage will kind of just change depending on that. But I like it,
yeah,
like rewarding those units for not moving, and then while you're able to, maybe use like a squad of intercessors or whatever case may be to like do actions and take objectives and whatnot. I think that's really cool.
yeah. It seems fun. Um, let's see. He shows off 2 stratagems. One is called Battle Drill. Battle Drill for 1 command point. You get sustained hits 1 when shooting. If you stand still, you're critical hitting on a 5+ instead of a 6. So 1 command point, stay still, sustain hits on a 5. That seems not bad, especially on a big unit with a lot of shots. Maybe Hellblasters or something like that. Devastators even. Try to get some more shots off of your heavy weapons. Seems pretty cool.
And some t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can shoot some
T-shirt
t-shirts, man.
cannons.
That's really good.
Yeah, Desolators.
Yo.
The other one reference is called Hail of Vengeance for 2 command points. It is a return fire stratagem that triggers if your squad loses a model. We've seen a couple other things like that in 10th edition so far. Yeah, you can only shoot at the squad that shot at it. Seems okay. I mean, it's going to be an infantry squad you're going to want to use this on, and yeah, hopefully you only lose 1 model and then you just get a free shooting attack. Pretty situational. Can you take Hellblasters in 10-man units? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, that might be a good one to use it. Because all the other ones are like small units. Like Eradicators, I think, are just 3-man, and Eliminators as well. Desolation dudes are now capped at 5.
5.
Devastators, I think, are also 5. So, yeah, I feel like Hellblasters or some 10-man unit that has decent.
Well, Hellblasters have the shoot on death thing, so maybe.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they're really good.
Still, then you could. Yeah. That'd be useful because you could lose 1 dude, it shoots, and then you get a free shooting attack with everyone else as well.
And then, yeah, man, that's brute. They're good. They're strong.
Yeah.
I think 2 CP is kind of a lot in these low CP days, but yeah. I mean, against in the right situation, right? You can really mess somebody up.
And then the enhancement previewed, it's called Architect of War. It is a leader ability to give a squad ignores cover. Not sure if this is the squad that he is attached to, or if you can choose a unit within a certain amount of inches. Unclear on that. So, that could be okay. I mean, I feel like ignores cover, personally, I haven't seen it make too big of a difference, but I do see it being talked about a lot as being a pretty competitive thing to have. What do you think?
I don't particularly like it. I think I would imagine even in this detachment, there'll be like better things to spend those 20 and 30 points on. I could be wrong, but just like anything that ignores cover like that, that's not like built in, and it's always kind of meh to me.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last 2 are the Vanguard Spearhead, which is like a Raven Guard style detachment that focuses on infantry and scouts and Phobos type stuff. There are no previews for that one, just talks about the name. But
I'm stoked.
That could be cool.
I'm stoked for this. I have a love affair with Phobos.
I think Phobos are pretty cool. I like the Phobos Librarian. He's really good.
He is good. Ooh-wee. That model too. His model's really
cool. A cool model.
So hopefully, I think Raven Guard are gonna get some love.
They need it
with that Raptor. There's some signs like in the lore. You guys can check that out in like the 10th edition lore. There's some Raven Guard love, and then with the Raptors getting their own transfer sheet, in addition to like the normal Raven Guard ones, it would seem like they're gonna get some stuff. And then with the new Scout models coming out, yeah, it's got to do something.
Yeah, that could be cool. The last one is an Iron Hands themed attachment called Ironstorm Spearhead that focuses on vehicles and walkers.
I hate them.
We can probably assume that vehicles will get some kind of buff as well as walkers, and then probably stratagems revolving around Tech Marines or enhancement that revolves around Tech Marines, maybe heal more or something like that, or
some sort of buff.
I like Iron Hands. I think they're pretty cool.
No,
in the past, they've been too good for like the last couple editions.
It's honestly, it's been really frustrating that Iron Hands have been so good because I dislike them that much.
Yeah.
I recently was having a conversation with one of our buddies who I'll try to get on the channel one of these days, but about like which Primarchs are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having issues deciding on like what legions and Primarchs and whatnot. So I started at the ones I disliked, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Man,
work your way up the list.
man, I don't like the Iron Hands."
Yeah.
18.
I mainly just like tech brains and like warp smiths for chaos. Like I like that aspect, like healing vehicles and buffing vehicles. I like the idea of that. Like I like Iron
Agreed.
Warriors, but yeah, it's not necessarily the lore that I enjoy about Iron Hands. I just like the idea of healing vehicles.
Yeah, the idea. I agree with the same thing you just said. I think that's fun.
But yeah,
Of like,
I don't really
yeah,
care about their
no,
lore.
they're the worst. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to see. This seems like the only problem I have with like the Codex release schedule
Mm-hmm.
is that it's like we'll get the. It's just like what happened with the Tyranny Codex. It's very reminiscent of what happened with the Space Wolf Codex. That like it was already outdated before it came out.
Yeah. I think
just
it was
feel
just
like
poor timing because the Battle Status
yeah.
Slate came out right before it. And obviously, they had both done at that point. So, I feel like the fact that it comes with a QR code to point you to the correct points, that's a step in the right direction.
For
Instead of
sure,
just
for
like
sure.
printing a bunch of obsolete pages, it's just like, okay, yeah,
Like,
these are obsolete, but
hey,
here's how to find the right ones.
also nowadays are $60.
Codexes are?
Yeah, codexes are
Ouch.
60 now. They went up.
Yeah, that's lame. But it is what it is.
Yeah, never gonna financially recover from this.
Yeah,
All right, my
not
man.
straightforward there.
What's your favorite one so far?
I do like the Salamanders one. The Firestorm Assault Force seems pretty cool. The idea of using it on a non-Salamanders army, I think Space Wolves are gonna like that one. Also, the White Scars one, just giving you advance and charge flat out. That one's pretty crazy, and it might be my favorite. I know that one's not referenced in the article, but it is in the leaks, so I think
Mm-hmm.
that one's going to be really popular, especially with Blood Angels players and more melee-oriented ones, also Space Wolves. I can
Yeah.
see that one getting a lot of play. Yeah, probably that one, just because I prefer melee. Like I'm a fighty boy. Corn's my army, so
You don't even know what a gun is at this point. I think, and
yeah,
just like, here's a pistol.
yeah. I played a game a couple days ago, and yeah, it was just bolt pistols. That was what I had.
Which was I thought was really funny that, and I watched this particular game, was your Land Raider. They
Oh
were
yeah,
so
yeah. I had
scared
one
of your
too.
Land Raider. I was like, guys, it's like 2 shots, dog.
I mean, it was 1,000 point game, so having a Land Raider in a smaller game probably is more intimidating. Um, so I understood it, but they almost killed it. They almost
No, so what it
got it
was
down.
like three,
Yeah, three wounds
three wounds.
left.
Yeah, 3 wounds.
Yeah, the orc player managed to get some really lucky rolls and brought it from like 13 down to 4. And I was like, oh crap, he's probably not going to
And
survive. But
and then some
he
other
did.
unlucky rolls.
Yeah, yeah, but it was a fun
Womp
game.
womp. That's okay. I think I want to go Firestorm
Yeah,
with the information that we have right now. That's man, it looks fun. I'm really curious to see. Hopefully, we get Stormlance in Vanguard tomorrow. So we'll see
yeah.
kind of what
Did
happens
they
with that.
say there's going to be another one? Oh yeah, we'll be taking a look at more available in the codex later. No specific date, but yeah, they'll probably cover the other 4 over the next week or so,
Few days.
couple days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because it
think
goes
'cause
on pre-order on Saturday. Was it this
pretty
Saturday?
close. Pretty close. I forget
I
what
thought
the
it was
exact
this
date
one
is.
or the next one.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come out in early October, so probably in Probably one more week of reveals, and then pre-order, and then out.
Yeah, maybe. I thought they did say the day. I'm scrolling through Warhammer community. See if I can find it. Let's see. Huh. Guess not. Guess not. It's okay.
All right, good. So
Anyways.
you got any closing thoughts?
Let's see. No, I think we pretty much covered what we could. Like I said, the leaks we talked about are in an Auspex Tactics video. Couldn't find out the specific source, so I'm just going to link his video in the description. And also, I already said it, but if you guys have not heard of him, you're probably living under a rock, because he's like the best 40k channel out there. So go check his stuff out. He makes stuff every single day, sometimes multiple videos a day. Yeah, just want to cite the sources. I think that's all I got. What about you?
I'm just hoping my boy Bobby gets some love.
Yeah, we'll see about
That's
that.
it. That's it. We'll see.
About
We'll
that.
see. The boys, but we will. We will. The boys in blue, they'll be back. Back
Yeah.
again.
I hope not.
I ain't worried about it. I ain't afraid. Always blue. Um,
Oh.
yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Tune in next time to maybe watch a battle or something. We'll see. Or maybe we'll just cover the more detachments they put out, even though we covered them all just now. But whatever. We'll make something.
Details.
All right. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Later, guys.